It was a Tuesday. Or was it a Wednesday? Anyway, it was a day that ended in Y, which for Shaggy Rogers and his best pal Scooby-Doo meant one thing. It was a perfect day for a snack. They were lounging, as they often did, in the back of the Mystery Machine. The van was parked near a very old library. Shaggy was reading a very, very old book. He found a story that made his stomach rumble with excitement. It was the legend of the lost sushi roll of Kanyaku. Legend had it this wasn't just any sushi roll. It was the most delicious, most perfect, most legendary sushi roll in the entire world. It was said to have the crunchiest cucumber and the freshest fish. Scooby-Doo's ears perked up at the word sushi. "Rushi?" he asked, his tail beginning to wag slowly. Shaggy's eyes were wide with wonder. "Like, it's not just sushi, Scoob," he explained, pointing a shaky finger at a drawing in the book. "It's the ultimate sushi. The book says it was made by a master chef 100 years ago. It was hidden away in a secret temple to be protected forever. Imagine the flavor, old pal, the sheer snacktacular flavor. It's a culinary quest of epic proportions, a journey for our taste buds. The decision was, as you might say, instantaneous. The allure of the most amazing snack ever created was too strong to ignore. Forget ghosts and ghouls for a day. This was a mission of a different, more delicious sort. Rare! Let's go! Scooby barked, jumping up and nearly hitting his head on the van's ceiling. Shaggy nodded in agreement, closing the dusty old book with a loud thud. "You said it, Scoob! We're off to find the lost sushi roll of Kanyaku. Our stomachs are counting on us. This is going to be like the greatest food adventure of all time. To the temple we go." Their journey began immediately. They followed the map from the old book. It led them out of the city and into a quiet, misty forest. Tall bamboo trees surrounded them, making strange whistling sounds in the wind. The path was old and covered in moss. "Like, this place is kinda spooky, Scoob," Shaggy whispered, his knees knocking together just a little bit. "Real spooky," Scooby agreed, staying very close to Shaggy's side. They walked deeper and deeper into the forest. The air grew cooler. They were getting closer to the legendary snack. Their hunger and their excitement pushed them onward through the creepy woods. Zoinks! Suddenly, out of nowhere, something moved in the bamboo. It was fast. It was silent. A shadow darted from one tree to another. Shaggy stopped walking. "Did you, see that, Scoob?" he asked, his voice trembling. Scooby's fur stood on end. He let out a tiny whimper. "Ruro-raggy." Before they could even think about running, 3 figures dropped from the trees above. They landed in front of Shaggy and Scooby without making a single sound. They were dressed all in black. Their faces were covered. They were evil ninjas, and they did not look friendly at all. They looked like they wanted to stop our heroes. "Zoinks!" Shaggy screamed, jumping straight into Scooby's arms. It was a classic move. For a moment they were a wiggling, trembling tower of fear, like ninjas, real-life ninjas. The ninjas just stood there, staring at them with cold, serious eyes. One of the ninjas pointed a finger first at the map in Shaggy's hand, and then down the path. It was clear what they wanted. They were protecting the sushi roll. They didn't want anyone, especially 2 hungry and clumsy adventurers, to find the legendary snack. The message was simple: turn back now, or face the consequences. Scooby peeked out from behind Shaggy's arm. "Rinjas!" he whimpered. He did not like the look of them one bit. They were way scarier than a guy in a ghost costume. Shaggy, still holding Scooby, started to back away slowly. "Like, no problem, Mr. Ninja Sirs," he stammered. "We were just, looking for the nearest burger joint. Yeah, that's it. We must have taken a wrong turn. We'll just be on our way now. No need for any, ninja stuff." The ninjas didn't move. They just crossed their arms, blocking the path completely. It seemed talking their way out of this was not going to be an option. The lead ninja took a step forward. This simple action sent a new wave of panic through our heroes. Shaggy and Scooby let out a simultaneous yelp and started running, but not forward. They ran in circles. They bumped into each other. They tripped over their own feet. It was a chaotic dance of pure, unadulterated fear. "Like, we gotta do something, Scoob!" Shaggy cried as he zigzagged through the bamboo. The ninjas watched them, probably a little confused by their strange behavior. This was not the reaction of brave warriors. This was the reaction of 2 very scared, very hungry best friends. After a few moments of frantic running, Shaggy had an idea. It was a crazy idea, but it was the only one he had. "Scoob! Listen up!" he whispered, hiding behind a very large bamboo tree. "These ninjas are silent and sneaky, but we're loud and clumsy. Let's use that." Scooby tilted his head, confused. "Roud and rumsy?" he asked. Shaggy nodded. Exactly. We'll create a diversion. A big, noisy, confusing diversion. It's the only way to get past them. We have to work together, old pal. Our friendship is our superpower. Well, friendship and our ability to cause a ruckus. Their plan was simple, yet brilliant in its own Shaggy and Scooby way. They gathered a bunch of loose bamboo stalks. On the count of 3, they started banging them together, making a loud, clattering noise. Like, look over there! A giant 3-headed badger! Shaggy yelled, pointing in a random direction. At the same time, Scooby started barking as loudly as he could. The combined noise was deafening. It echoed through the quiet forest. The ninjas, who were used to silence and stealth, were completely caught off guard. They spun around looking for the source of the commotion. While the ninjas were distracted, Shaggy and Scooby made their move. They tiptoed. Well, they tried to tiptoe. In the opposite direction. It was more of a clumsy, shuffling run. They weaved through the bamboo, trying to be as quiet as possible. Which, for them, was not very quiet at all. A twig snapped. A leaf crunched. At one point, Scooby tripped and rolled into a bush, making it shake violently. But the ninjas were still confused by the loud noises. They were looking for a giant badger, not 2 bumbling snack hunters. The diversion was working better than they could have ever hoped. They kept going, moving deeper into the forest. Looking back, they could see the ninjas were still searching for the non-existent threat. Shaggy and Scooby shared a look of relief. They had done it. They had outsmarted the evil ninjas. Like we did it, Scoob! Shaggy cheered in a loud whisper. Our teamwork was like totally awesome. Scooby nodded, giving a proud "Rhea, reamwork!" They had used their greatest weakness, their clumsiness, as a strength. It showed that even when you are scared, you can be brave if you have your best friend by your side. They were one step closer to the sushi roll. Following the map, they finally arrived at an old, beautiful temple. It was hidden behind a waterfall. And there, sitting on a stone pedestal in the center of the room, was the lost sushi roll of Kanyaku. It was glowing. Okay, maybe it wasn't glowing, but in their hungry eyes, it was the most beautiful thing they had ever seen. It was a single, perfect piece of sushi. It looked even more delicious than the book had described. They had faced their fears. They had outsmarted silent ninjas. They had earned this legendary snack. It was the prize at the end of their very strange and scary quest. As they reached for the sushi, they paused. They looked at each other and smiled. "You know, Scoob," Shaggy said, feeling surprisingly wise, like, finding this sushi is great, but the best part was doing it together. We were super scared of those ninjas, but we were brave because we had each other's backs. Scooby nodded in agreement. Rhea Raggy, Riens. They realized that the real adventure wasn't just about the food, it was about their friendship. It was about knowing that no matter how scary things get, they could count on each other. That was a lesson more valuable than any snack. But of course, the snack was still very important. With great care, Shaggy picked up the legendary sushi roll. He broke it perfectly in half. He gave one half to Scooby and kept the other for himself. Like, "Here you go, old pal," he said. "To friendship." Scooby took his half with a happy riendship. They took a bite at the exact same time. Their eyes went wide. It was incredible! The flavors exploded in their mouths. It was the crunchiest, freshest, most delicious sushi they had ever tasted in their entire lives. It was worth the entire spooky journey. As they sat there enjoying their reward, they knew they would never forget this day. They had learned that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you keep going even when you are scared. And they learned that working together with a friend can help you overcome any obstacle, even a team of very serious evil ninjas. With full stomachs and happy hearts, Shaggy and Scooby left the temple, ready for their next adventure. As long as they were together, they knew they could handle anything. And hopefully the next adventure would also involve a legendary snack.
Hi, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Help me get 1,000 plus subscribers. Watching fully helps increase the watch hours 4,000 plus. Please share to send donations to the Patreon page at Anime Tower Space Tunes, starting at $2 a month. And you can also answer surveys in one of the two survey apps. I get commissions on your earnings. Thanks so much for watching. See you next video visit. But for now, bye.